So the International Red Cross is now designating Syria's deadly conflict to be a full-blown civil war in their estimation. This as violence has spilled into the streets over the course of this weekend. Watch some of this. That's just video of somebody shooting out their window. This is the life and the world that they are living in Damascus right now. It's a bloody uprising. It's been going on for 16 months. So will the Red Cross's declaration change the international response to this in any way? KT McFarland, Fox News national security analyst, joins me now. KT, you just try to imagine what it's like for these people who've been living through this for 16 months. How does this designation affect anything?
Well, it makes aid easier to get to the people who are being so beleaguered, as you talked about. But what it does, it has a negative effect, too, because it's now let the Syrian leadership and Assad know it's kill or be killed. There is no way this ends happily. There's no negotiated solution now. Why? Because he realizes that if he steps down, or if he's shoved out of power, he's going to go face an international criminal court where he's going to be tried for genocide, for crimes against humanity. He's going to be executed. So his incentive has now changed. It's stay and kill, or keep killing, or be killed himself.
He's got to feel like he's pushed into a corner. And as you point out, that's going to make him most likely more dangerous than ever as he lashes out to try to save his own skin. And also you point out that the discussions that Iran and Russia are now having with his opposition paint him even deeper into that corner.
Yeah, now here's what's important to watch. The Russians and the Iranians have supported Assad of Syria.
Right.
The Russians have blocked the United Nations Security Council condemning, adding sanctions, etc. Why? Because the Russians have real interests in Syria. It's the only country they're closely allied to in the Middle East. They have a port that they use. It's a port that they've wanted for 300 years, since Peter the Great. And they sell military equipment to Assad of Syria. So they don't want to walk away from this. They don't want to lose that connection with Syria. That's why what has happened in the last week, where the Syrian opposition has gone to Moscow, the Moscow leadership is checking them out, seeing maybe is there an option here. I met a week ago with one of the ambassadors who sits on the United Nations Security Council, and I asked him, why do the Russians keep supporting Syria? And he said, here's the thing. They don't like Assad. They don't really care about Assad. What they care about, though, is that relationship. And they're worried that if they push Assad aside, they don't know what comes next. They want to make sure their interests are guaranteed.
So you can sort of feel them gauging who's going to be in charge and wanting to have the same kind of relationship that they've had with Syria for all the strategic points that you put down. I mean, but what does that leave in terms of the dynamic that emerges? Let's just assume for a moment that Assad gets pushed aside. Is there an opening, for an opposition that might be more helpful?
Well, you don't know the opposition is not just one unified group, and that's one of the problems. It's a whole lot of different groups. Some of them may be Islamists, they may be extremists. Some of them may be well-meaning, Democrats who want to establish a democracy. We don't really know, or we know some of them, but we're not sure who emerges at the other end of this. That's why I think it's very important for us to work with the Russians, not to shame them, not to scold them, but to say, look, you have interests here. But you are the only country in a position to get rid of Assad. You are the only country where you could use your military, the Russian military, with the Syrian military, the same way we use the American military with the Egyptian military to get rid of Mubarak. You can do that, and you can even pick who comes next. You can have your interests guaranteed, but get rid of Assad and stop the civil war and stop the killing.
That's the art of diplomacy that needs to be put in place. Thank you so much, KT. Good to talk to you as always. We'll see you soon.